Why Next.js is so popular? React is great, but React by itself is not really a full application framework. It gives you components, state, hooks, and the tools to build user interfaces. But once you want routing, server rendering, backend logic, optimization, and production deployment, you need more around it. That's where Next.js comes in. Next.js is a framework built on top of React that gives you most of the structure needed to build a complete web application. One of the first things you notice is routing. In Next.js, your file structure can define your routes. Create a page for /about, and Next.js knows that page belongs at /about. Create another route for /products, and the folder structure maps directly to that URL. You don't need to manually wire everything together with a separate routing library. Now let's talk about rendering. A traditional client-side React app can send very little useful HTML at first. The browser downloads JavaScript, runs React, fetches data, and then builds the page. That can delay what the user sees. Next.js gives you multiple rendering strategies. You can render a page on the server, generate it ahead of time, or render parts of it dynamically when needed. That can improve initial load performance and make pages easier for search engines to understand. But Next.js doesn't stop at rendering. You can also write backend logic inside the same application. For example, handle a form submission, read from a database, process authentication, or create an API endpoint. So instead of always maintaining a separate front-end project and back-end project, a lot of applications can keep both inside one Next.js codebase. Now there's another important concept: React Server Components. Imagine a page needs data from a database. With a purely client-side approach, the browser loads the page, runs JavaScript, makes another request to your backend, waits for the data, and then updates the UI. With a server component, that component can run on the server. It can access the database there, render the result, and send the completed output to the browser. The browser doesn't need all the JavaScript that was used to fetch and render that server-only part. And when something actually needs interactivity, like a button, form, drag and drop, or local state, you can make that part a client component. So one page can contain both server-rendered and interactive pieces. Next.js also handles a lot of optimizations for you: code splitting, image optimization, font optimization, prefetching, caching, streaming, and lazy loading. Things you could configure manually in a React application are built into the framework. So the easiest way to understand Next.js is this: React gives you the building blocks for the UI. Next.js takes those building blocks and adds routing, server capabilities, rendering strategies, and production optimizations around them. And that's why Next.js became so popular. It lets you start with React and keep going until you have an entire application.